Welcome everybody to week 9 of Boom Bust. I am Kyle, and we have with us the professor as always. Conspicuous by his absence is Corey, our typical host, could not be with us tonight, so you're going to get a little bit different format, but let's have some fun. Tony, who's your first guy you're giving us this week?
I almost surprised myself with my boom list this week. If you would have asked me week 1, would this guy make it onto my boom list any week of the season, I would have said absolutely not. And that's Mr. Chuba Hubbard with the Carolina Panthers. But surprise, surprise, he's playing pretty well this year. He's been very, very reliable with his fantasy production. Did not have a great week 8, but right now he's sitting at running back number 11 on the season, which is just absolute insanity to me.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Was that?
I said that's nuts. Yeah.
It's nuts, isn't it? But look, he's going up against the Saints. Funny how momentum works in the NFL, right? Like the beginning of the season looked like the Saints were Super Bowl bound. Now they can't get out of their own way. So they cannot get anything going on offense. Surprisingly, this could be a game where with game script, Hubbard might get some strong touches. And I'm kind of really liking this week as my boom. Now, let me also kind of clarify once again that boom means to me outproducing where we have these guys ranked. I'm not suggesting that he's going to finish as the RB1.
Right.
But I think this is a guy, if you got him and you're trying to figure out what to do at the running back position, I would start him with confidence this week.
Yeah, I think sometimes that gets lost in these boom bust shows, just exactly what we mean by boom and bust. Like, okay, we have this guy ranked as the 20th running back this week. I think he outperforms that, And it's like, It doesn't mean he's going to score 40 points. It just means that if you're kind of on the fence, he's someone you can go to put in there and feel comfortable with, more comfortable than his ranking might suggest.
Right.
But, no, I had Hubbard on my boom list a few weeks back, and I was the same way. I was like, I never thought in a million years this guy would be relevant this year, much less on a boom list or number 11 running back on the season and that's after a poor week last week. He's still number 11. So, yeah, man, I like that pick, though. I like that pick.
Yeah. Who you got?
So, first guy I'm going to give out is, and you're not going to like me for this, I'm just going to warn you. My first boom is Chase Brown against your Las Vegas Raiders, as Chris Berman would say. Yeah, I know it hurts, but your Raiders are terrible on defense, and everybody's lighting them up. Chase Brown has struggled a little bit with efficiency the last couple weeks, but he's still getting the volume, more volume than Zach Moss. I think he has a really good chance at a bounce back this weekend against the Raiders, and yeah, I'm starting him as much as I can this week.
Okay. All right. I can't argue with that. I
also want to defend your Raiders so bad, but you just can't, right? It's like, this is not the year. It's kind of like me with my Cowboys. I can't defend any of the crap they're doing. I just can't. They're just horrible, and it is what it is. And I think me and you can relate in that this year at least, although the Raiders are worse than the Cowboys still. But
yeah. I'd like to correct you on something you said, though.
What was that?
Minor correction. You don't have to qualify the defense as being terrible. You can just say the Raiders are terrible.
That's fair. That's fair.
Doesn't matter if you look at offense, defense, whatever you look at, they're a mess. So.
That is true. That is true. All right, who's the next guy you're going to hit us with?
Let me give you a bust. I gave you a boom. I gave you a running back. Let me give you a bust running back. And this is a guy who was on my sell list for this week, and that's J.K. Dobbins of the Chargers. This is going to be a brutal matchup for him against this Browns defense. They have been dominant in stopping the run all season long. That with a kind of a dip in his efficiency, Don't expect big things from JK this week.
Yeah, I always love the double whammies when you get somebody on the sell list and the bust list.
Yeah,
That always cracks me
it
up. It's like,
works.
double screw that guy. Don't start him anywhere. Get rid of him.
Seriously.
Oh, shoot. All right. I guess I might as well hit you with a bust too. And since I broke your heart with my first boom, I'm going to break my own heart with my first bust. And it's Baker Mayfield against the best defense in the league this year, the Chiefs, in Arrowhead. I don't want any peace with the receiving core the way it is in shambles. Like I don't want any part of that.
Yeah.
It's easy. That's a simple as that kind of deal right there.
Yeah. No, I hear that. It's be interesting to see what they do on offense. You know, it's
Well, because you can't run on the Chiefs either. So what are they going to do? Like the only thing they can do, I think their weakest spot is against tight ends. So maybe Otten has 20 receptions for 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. I don't know. That's the only chance they have against the Chiefs this week, I think.
Yeah, you know, it's I think if I'm doing DFS, one guy I'm looking at this week is maybe Rachaad White. I know we're not I don't want to deviate from our kind of our script here and how we built the show, but you know, just because we're talking about Tampa Bay, you know, with the loss of Godwin and Evans, I think Rachaad White can surprise a lot of people now. Rest of season really, and you know, and to control the ball on offense, he is without a doubt the receiving back, and I expect him to be a big part of that, you know, moving forward, and so he's a guy I think could surprise this week.
Yeah, that's a very good point. A lot of dump offs coming, a lot because Baker's going to be under pressure a lot from these Chiefs, and so yeah, you're right. I could see a whole lot of dump offs coming from him.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But I'm not starting Baker because of it.
I'm starting. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Good call. Good call. Good call.
All right, who's your next expert call?
I'm going to give you another boom, and here's another guy, kind of like I was talking about with Hubbard. Beginning of the season, I were to tell you that by week 9, one rookie receiver was going to kind of emerge here, stay healthy, and be a top 7 fantasy receiver, you would bet the house on Harrison. You would bet the house on, at least you would hedge your bet and say Harrison or Neighbors, possibly Odunze. But lo and behold here, Brian Thomas Jr.
I was all over McConkey.
Yeah, right? Number 7 on the season. And now Kirk goes down. And he's just got a beautiful he's got a beautiful matchup this week against that Eagles secondary. This guy has looked just absolutely incredible. If you've got him in Dynasty, you've got to be excited that you've got this guy on your roster. And I love him this week because, again, we know that he's got that rib injury. It sounds like it's just a contusion. It's a matter of, you know, playing through some pain. But I expect Brian Thomas to, especially with what we saw this week with Anthony Richardson tapping out, Brian Thomas is not going to tap out. This guy is going to deliver for his team this week. I expect a big game.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like Brian Thomas, he's elite, right? He is that freaking guy. And I didn't see it coming. You got to feel like in Dynasty, if you got him, you got a lottery ticket because he was grabbed for like a 2nd-round pick in, you know, most leagues probably. And like that's incredible value. He's been very, very impressive. Honestly, he's at must-start status just about every week now. I mean, but give me a boom week from him. I'm loving the sound of that. So
yeah, just think about that. He's number 7. You know, and that's ahead of guys like Amara. That's ahead of guys, you know, that maybe you would have expected to be higher up on that list. Certainly, it's getting higher than Harrison and Neighbors at the as far as rookies are concerned. But he's been dominant. It's been incredible to watch.
Yeah, Neighbors started out much higher. He's had some injuries and some issues. Harrison's been pretty disappointing. Not gonna lie. McConkey's been all over the map a little bit. I was really high on him coming into the year. But yeah, dude, so impressive. So impressive.
Yeah.
I'm going to hit you with a guy, my other boom, that's been pretty impressive, but only for a couple of weeks. And I'm going to ride that wave, and that's Cedric Tillman for the Browns.
Wow, I didn't see that one coming. That's a curveball.
Yeah, this guy has been incredible for the last 2 weeks with Jameis Winston, and they're just chucking the ball all over the yard. And I'm going to ride that wave. Chargers, not the best matchup, but not the worst. Kind of middle of the road as far as passing game goes. I'm getting Tillman in. I'm riding this wave. I'm going to keep riding. Honestly, if it was me, I'd probably ride him out for another big game and sell him. But if you've got him on your roster, you got to start him this week.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I just don't know how you bench the guy. Winston's on fire. He's on fire. Ride it. Ride it.
Yeah. Well, he did have a monster week 8, so I'll give you that. But all right, let's see if he can do 2 weeks in a row. Well, week 7 he had a decent game, but 2 weeks in a row with Jameis Winston starting the week. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I'd be interested. Like, he could be a league winner, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
It's early. It's early. There's still half the season to go. We'll see. All right, give us your last player.
Yeah, so my last player, my second bust of the week at the quarterback position is Mr. Kyler Murray. It's mostly about matchup. It's actually it's all about matchup, not mostly. It's all about matchup. Chicago Bears coming off that ridiculous Hail Mary from Jaden Daniels, that loss.
They're not going to let that happen again.
Yeah. I think they come back this week. They wanna make amends for that. They've got a solid defense. You know, they're solid up front. They're solid in the secondary, and you know, I think Kyler Murray's going to struggle this week against this defense. So he's a bust for me. Or yeah, he's a bust.
Yeah, as far like outside of that brain lapse Hail Mary call they had last week, this Bears defense has been really, really good all year.
Yeah, they're legit.
And this year, Kyler and that whole offense, honestly, their performances very much depend on their matchups. You know, they've been very matchup dependent on getting you fantasy points, and it just is what it is. It's a little bit of everybody. Murray has to be better. Harrison has to be better. McBride's been pretty good, but like, I don't know. But I agree with you. This Bears defense is not one you want to start a guy like Kyler Murray against. All right, I'm going to give you my last bust, and it's Mr. Zay Flowers. And there's 2 reasons. One, Deontay Johnson's traded there this week. That impacts Zay so negatively. But there's no guarantee. I don't even know if Deontay's playing this week or not. Don't know. Don't care. They're playing Denver. That's why he's my bust. This Denver defense is shutting people down. After the Chiefs, probably the second best defense in the league right now. Like, they are looking incredible. Shutting down receivers, shutting down running backs, you name it. I'm not starting Zay Flowers against them.
Okay, I can respect that. That's a good call. And you know, Zay Flowers is a guy that I like. You know, maybe not this week, but
I love Zay Flowers.
But yeah, I mean, okay.
I love Zay Flowers. I hate that they traded for Deontay Johnson.
Yeah,
that did not make me happy.
Right.
I'll be interested to see how that goes, who that affects more, if that impacts the tight ends more, or if it impacts Zay much at all. They really don't throw that much anyways, so I don't know why they thought they needed another receiver in the first place. But
that's a concern. It's what's crazy is what they gave up for him. You know, they basically got him for free. I don't know what Carolina is doing, to be honest.
Why couldn't Dallas go trade for a Deontay Johnson for free? You know, why we should go trade for one of these running backs that we could get even cheaper, but we won't. We won't because Jerry's a moron.
You know, but Baltimore gave up. You know, they gave up essentially a 5th, and had Carolina just kept them into the offseason, and they would have gotten a 4th round compensatory pick. So they would have done better had they kept him through the season and lost him in free agency. It just doesn't make any sense to me. But I don't know what they're doing in Carolina.
Nobody does. Nobody has a clue what they're doing.
Yeah.
Carolina. That's our third. That's my third bust of the week. Carolina management. It's between like it's them and Cleveland for like worst franchise in the league, right? Worst ran. So I don't know.
I'll sign off on that.
All right, everybody. There's your booms and busts for week 9. Good luck, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, Kyle.
We are here. FantasySportsAdvice.com, offering the best fantasy sports social media platform. Why join endless Discord communities or the trolls of Reddit? Fantasy Sports Advice is a community designed to help you win with 24/7 support. Go to FantasySportsAdvice.com and become a pro member for unlimited access. Again, go to FantasySportsAdvice.com today.